Hi, it's Volodymyr Katansky here and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the fraud in outsourcing business. So this idea of this subject came to me when someone commented on one of my videos that they want to learn more about the challenges I faced building a software company. There are actually a lot of them, starting with finding the clients, building a reputation, having the proper system in place. Gladly we figured this out with this work layer solution. You can learn more about it. There is also a lot of smaller interesting topics I want to highlight in this video. One of them is fraud. So fraud for outsourcing business lies in two areas. It's client side and workforce side. On the client side, it's when you find someone who is like can try to underpay you, just have a very bad attitude, and it's very hard to work with. So to avoid that, especially the case when you are not paid at all, I believe the fundamental solution would have upfront payments. But for having upfront payments, you should also build some sort of reputation or have a refund policy or guarantees that the client won't lose the money if you just don't deliver. And this is very hard to me to execute. Even though it's worked for us and helped us in the very first days, so we've seen like if the client is really happy, he's gonna leave us a good review, gonna pay us, of course, and we can continue growing the reputation. It might sound these few phrases really easy, but it's probably the most hardest part in building this business. And anytime you face a fraud or bad customer who doesn't want to pay you, or even if you did a great job, so just for no reason, well, you just gotta pass through it. It's gonna happen. You should have a buffer to pay your team in case such events happening, which sometimes answer why there is a specific margin for this kind of business. And another item is of workforce fraud. This is more interesting to me because we've hiring a lot of people, interviewing a lot of people, like probably more than 3,000 for our 8 years tenure as a software development company, and we've seen. And we're also working remotely, and we've seen a lot of different ways, such as like agency representative trying to steal the personality of the developer. The developer is actually being present on the interview. He's been using like the real email, it's actually being owned by this agency, pass it and creates an image that it's all gonna be fine and just fits the requirements perfectly. But when it comes to a job, you start to realize something really is wrong. And we used the screenshot capturing software back in those days in the beginning, which helped us a lot to figure out what's going on. And some of the fraudsters or some of the issues we had, one day it was like guys watching the porno while tracking the time, pretending doing the job. That was very funny. So the best solution for that, of course, is not capturing the screenshots. It might sound good, but in reality, it will just piss off the intellectual beings such as software developers. And we found a different solution in place. We created a system where we have a multi-tier process of giving the different level of tasks and providing higher attention from our team to figure out whether this person is real, whether this person is following the processes and matching the results, the time spent to the salary we are paying. Another thing is that, of course, during the interview, you gotta see the face. Anytime you end up with someone not being present with the camera, this is a fraud. Like, come on. If it's like even 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, you have a phone. Every smartphone has a camera. So if someone doesn't want to show their face, there's probably a good reason behind it. So I hope you enjoy these small tips and tricks from me. Please like, subscribe, and I see you in the next episodes.